afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name's GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we are back once again with another deck feature in Legends of Runeterra, where today we are going to be talking about one of the best decks in this game, or at least one of the best champions, and that is none other than Karma. Karma is a really good card. I've seen her run in a lot of different decks. I've seen her run in control decks based around Control Ezreal or Control Heimer, where they just throw Karma in because she's such a good card. I've also seen her run in like an elite deck where it's like Karma and Lux are late game conditions, but you have elites to build up the board in the early game. There's a lot of interesting kinds of decks and strategies I've seen with her being run in, and she seems insanely good for a number of reasons. Firstly, she's a kind of nice card in general, just being able to create a random spell in your hand at the end of a round, which that's kind of cool, but her level up is really insane. Firstly, it's really easy because all you have to do is reach turn 10 before you drop her and then she'll be leveled up. But once she levels up, every single time you play a spell, it will be cast twice. So that means if you play something big and scary like Vengeance, your opponent can't just deny it because you're playing two Vengeances. If you're playing something big and scary like Ruination, your opponent can't just deny it. There's two Ruinations. Same deal with the Harrowing, same deal with all your spells. They are being used twice, so any sort of big scary spell is guaranteed to land. On top of that, pretty much any spell that you do is going to be doubled the effect. So Grasp of the Undying is not dealing 3 damage to a unit and healing your Nexus 3. It's dealing 6 damage to a unit and healing your Nexus 6. Same deal for Mark of the Isles. You are giving an ally +6/+6 and ephemeral, not +3/+3. Same deal for, pretty much everything out there. Because you're doubling things, it can kind of get a little bit crazy, and you can oftentimes just win the game fairly easily once you get to that late game. But of course, there are plenty of decks out there that are trying to stop you from getting to that late game. There's rush decks, there's mid-ranges. How do you deal with those? Well, those are really easy because in both of these trees, the Ionia and Shadow Isles tree, you have a lot of lifesteal cards, which lifesteal might be one of the best mechanics in this game. The way that lifesteal works, at least at the time of making this video, because it might get nerfed, it kind of should get nerfed, when you deal damage, you heal your Nexus as much damage as you deal, like a drain spell. If Emerald Awakener attacks someone with 2 power, you are healing your Nexus 2, which doesn't sound like a lot initially, but think about it this way. If you're playing against an aggro deck, if you're playing against Elise and Darius, if you're playing against a Jinx Teemo or Jinx Draven deck, your opponent is trying to deal 20 damage to your Nexus by turn 5 or turn 6. If you get an Emerald Awakener out, or if you get a Darkwater Scourge out, then your opponent isn't trying to deal 20 damage to win the game. They're trying to deal 30 or 35 damage to win the game, which is almost impossible. When you heal up as much as you're able to just, it's insane. Especially when it comes to some of the bigger health cards like Darkwater Scourge, where, if you remove the ephemeral by using Deathmark here, then this Darkwater Scourge is going to be healing 10 over the course of 2 turns, possibly back to back, because he can also block. Lifesteal is not an attacking thing like Quick Attack is. Lifesteal goes off even if you're just blocking, which is kind of broken in my opinion, and especially because he can be blocking a 1/1, he is still healing the full 5. You combo this with Soul Gorger and combo this with some of the other drain spells out there, like Grasp of the Undying and Withering Wail, and it's very difficult for anyone to rush you down. You're pretty much guaranteed to win if you play against an aggro deck, knock on wood. Let's try and not jinx ourselves and hop into a game and try and show this off. All right, so for our first game, it looks like we're playing against a Fiora deck. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what to make of that. I kind of mentioned that this is a deck that specifically does really well against aggro decks because it has a lot of lifesteal opportunities within it. It also is a deck that does well against mid-range decks, whereas it may struggle a little bit against a control deck in a control v control matchup, because oftentimes that kind of comes down to luck of who gets Harrowing first and that kind of thing. Point being, I have no idea how this is going to go against a Fiora deck. This could go either way. We'll find out, though. Here, I'm going to just play this safe. I don't know if he has a win condition other than Fiora. If he's going for a big, scary board, though, we have Ruination to deal with that. And if he does put down the Fiora, we can Deathmark or even Ruination or something. We don't really have easy minions to kill, except for this Shadow Assassin that I am playing right now. Does he have the Fiora? He does not. That's interesting that he's using that on that. That's actually a pretty big mistake, I think. He probably doesn't have a better unit to use standalone on, but that's gonna mess him up in the mid and late game, I think, because this isn't gonna be hitting my face again, I don't believe. I'm gonna be able to kill it. He does have a pretty nice setup here. He's getting challengers. He's getting challenger combos with a Legion Drummer. But what he's doing here is playing around with a deck that's meant to be, you know, he's playing a deck that's meant to be building his board, presumably using the combo of Legion Drummer with Challenger to deal damage to me and wipe out my board. But as big as he builds his board, it's just going to hurt more and more for when we pop the Ruination. And here, getting the Soul Gorger out is also going to be really nice. I might even not want to use it. We could just Ruination here. Do we want to pass and see if he's ballsy enough to play something? He has to play something else this game. He can't win the game by not playing anything here. Except I'm not going to, I'm going to chill. Yeah, I'm actually going to chill here, I think. And I'll attack with him as well. Heal me up to 20. That's the nice thing about playing a control deck, is you're able to take things nice and slowly. It's interesting that Barrier is a bit of a counter to Lifesteal because you don't technically deal any damage, and that way you don't actually get any heals. But you can see he's running out of cards. He's using everything that he can, and he is not Ionia, so this is about to happen. Sorry, man. This deck might actually be good against Barrier decks as well. There's a few different Barrier decks, like the Shen and Fiora Barrier deck, and this one's apparently just a Fiora Barrier deck. And yeah, because a lot of the Shadow Isles cards are kill a unit. You know, Vengeance is kill an enemy unit. Ruination is kill all units. Because of that, there's nothing that opponents can really do. They can't use Barrier to save it. They can't buff the health to save it. If you're playing an Ezreal control deck, then he's going to be trying to use 2 damage or 3 damage to kill a unit, and that can work sometimes, but you can't. You can sometimes get beaten if you're trying to deal 3 damage to a 3 health unit and an opponent uses Elixir of Iron to give it more health. That's a situation you'll run into a lot. There's no way for him to deal with this, though. Maybe I shouldn't have played Frenzied. I kind of want to put it down because he is actually getting me kind of low. 11 health is fairly significant. That is fine. I want to see him play 1 more card before we use Ruination. Second one. I forget if I run 2 or 3. I think I run 3 in this deck. Ruination is just so good when it's being run in a...
Gentlemen, ladies, the honor is
I may as well use it. Why not? Why not? Then we can Harrowing next turn. Yeah, and he gets the Surrender in anyway. So you can see the strength of this deck. It's very strong against aggro and mid-range. Let's see if we can play against another one. All right, and here we go. This is the classic matchup that you want to be playing this into. You want to see the Hecarim Elises. This guy's probably running Ruination, so he does have some late game potential to win this, but we're in a real... This is like the matchup that this deck was designed to beat. We just need to get some draws because right now we only have 1 unit in hand, which is a kind of good unit, but still. Okay, there we go. That's the kind of thing you want to see. You want to see Emerald Awakener early. You also want to see the big squid, big octopus man. I forget his name. That's why we kept the Deathmark. Deathmark is so good, dude. 3 mana to kill a unit. Oh, ridiculous. Come on, what are you doing? Make your move, man. Make your move. Puts down the Mistwraith. He can attack. Go ahead. Now, next turn, I don't know if I should attack with Emerald Awakener. Probably. It'll heal up 2 for my Nexus. And even if he trades it, that could be a good trade for us. And we have a second one now. Perfect. One of the nice things about this deck and one of the nice things about this game in general is that spell decks, well, you might say this isn't such a nice thing, but spell decks are kind of broken or overpowered in the sense that the spell mana mechanic, being able to save mana to get spell mana, that's really strong. Because at times, you can be playing up against someone who's doing a 3-drop, right? They have 3 mana, so they can only play a minion that has 3 health, or, you know, around there, 3 health, 3 power. They can only play a 3-cost card, but you can use 6-cost or 5-cost spells to remove them. That is really, really good. And we're fine with that. If he tries to play something, we'll play Frenzied. That'll stop an attack, or it should, or maybe not now. Oh, he did not get the allegiance. Okay, that's probably stopping the attack. And you can see, you know, this is one of the most powerful decks in the game, Hecarim Elise. Even after the nerfs, you're still seeing it being played all the time just because of how good it is. But even this deck is struggling pretty significantly he's struggling pretty significantly hard at dealing any damage to me. We have a few different options for what we might want to do here. I could do Frenzied again. Kind of depends what he's doing. I don't want to just do Karma. I don't think he has a way to stop this. Karma is someone you have to be careful about putting out early because this ability to create a random spell at the end of every hand is not that good. Or it's not that important. The thing you're taking Karma for is the level up. And if you're playing up against a Ezreal deck or a... Oh, shoot. He is a Piltover deck. I didn't think about that. If you're playing against a Piltover deck that has the get excited, you know, you have to be able to deny that. You have to be ready to deny that. But if he doesn't have a way to kill her, except now he does because I'm attacking. Now he can do the 2 damage if an ally has died, deal 3. Okay, thank goodness, thank goodness. That was a huge misplay on my part. So now we'll probably do Frenzied. Oh. Yeah, probably do Frenzied here. He's getting really scary. I guess I'm stunning Hecarim. Am I? I may as well. This will give me perfect mana. Or we could put down Emerald Awakener. He cannot win here. Even if he has... Well, if he had 2 Mark of the Isles, he could win by using both of them. But he can't win just with 1. And then, yeah, we'll put down Emerald Awakener because now we have to really start worrying about our lifesteal. We also have Grasp of the Undying we can use next turn, or the next attacking turn that he attacks us. I really want to draw something with Ephemeral so I can use this. We have 2 of them, and we could use them to kill the Hecarim. What is that? Okay, we don't have a Deny. Or we do, we don't have mana. We still have another one we can use, but this is our last one. I'd kind of like to keep him alive until turn 10 so we can become enlightened. And yes, oh my goodness, that is really, really good for us. Let's attack with him and see how he tries to block. If he doesn't block, that's fine. That was exactly what we needed. So even though we just got taken down to 5 health, almost lower, now we will be able to slowly start healing back up. And we have this combo. Come on, play something. That's fine. I could have denied that, but this is better. So we'll use that, and then we'll use the Death Mark. So this will keep him at a 5-4. It will also kill the Hecarim this turn. He does not have an attack token, so he can't attack with him. But we're running out of cards at this point. We need to start being more prepared. I'm trying to think about draws we can get. Karma is still creating things for us, obviously, which is really nice. But yeah, he's slowly realizing he can't do anything. That's the thing. He can't buff Hecarim. He can't give him more health. He doesn't have Deny. He's not playing Ionia. There's nothing you can do to deal with this combo. Now I'm about to have a 5-4 that could be enlightened soon and go up to a 9-5 or a 9-8. Yeah, 9-8. Come on, I can do math. And the round, Hecarim dies. We get a spell. That's not a good spell. That's not useful at all. But that's okay. If he has Harrowing, which he can start using now, we now have Ruination as well, but we still have the Deny to deal with it. We want to use Deny before Ruination because we have the Karma out. As well as this guy who we want to keep alive. He's going to be a big, big help for us to heal up. And you can see he's in a really big pickle now. He's in a really big pickle because he has to figure out a way. Oh, shoot. Do I want to... I think I'm going to do this and see how he responds. Oh, shoot, yeah. We could Shadow Shift him back to hand, but that removes the Mark of the Isles buff, so he'll just go back to being a 6-6. But either way, this will heal a lot. This gets us from 6 up to 14 health. And this is something you see a lot when you play this deck into mid-ranges and aggro decks. You see yourself drop down to 1 health while your opponent's at 20, and by the end of the game, your opponent is at 1 health and you're back up to 20. If we could just draw the big octopus, then use that with the second death mark, it's going to be perfect. But this is still really good. Oh, perfect. Then we can use this. This recalls the karma, and now we can feel safe playing Ruination. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is also one thing that's kind of fun about this deck, is that you get these fun little cards that show up every once in a while because of the creating a random spell. Karma herself creates a random spell, and you also run 2 Inside of Ages in this deck. Or maybe even 3. So now he's starting to throw out some of his late game cards. I kind of want to pass and just see what he does here. I should probably use this.
Come closer. I don't bite.
I'll use this and pass now. The problem is if he passes and ends his turn, he can attack immediately. But I want to get more value from Ruination. Let's just drop this. We don't really care if this dies. And we have a second one. Ooh. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to let that go off. The deny that we have is not for denying card draw. The deny that we have is for denying a big win condition. There is Inside of Ages. Alright, that's fine. We will attack with this. Alright, so now what I want to see, yeah, is something like that, except now he's going to attack and win the game. Oh shoot, he can't win, can he? Please try and play something.
You cannot escape.
Oh shoot, do we lose? I have to use this. Well, I can do that. But actually, we don't lose if we use this to kill something. I was really passive with that Ruination. I needed to be more aggro with it. Okay, so we heal up there. This is getting scary. May as well use this. I'm never going to use that card. So what I need to do this next turn is I need to attack with both of these and then Ruination after he does whatever. If he passes and stays at full mana and then he drops a Letaros, then so be it. We have to deal with that. So first attack with these, see what he does. Because now, since I'm attacking with my turn, now he will have a turn. So he has an opportunity to do something, and that's why I'm hoping he plays another minion. Please don't think about this card. Don't think about me having this in my hand. So he lets him hit. Now, is he just going to pass? If he just passes, I have to play it. There's no other option for me. I have to play it. Because if he attacks next turn, then I lose. So now he can play whatever it is he has in hand, and it could be something maybe kind of scary. Yeah, he did have stuff he was saving. So this is still not over. We can use Will of Ionia on one of these next turn. Or Vengeance. I don't want to use Vengeance, but... yeah, so I'll use Will of Ionia on just one. And then if he... you know, if he buffs the other to try and win, then I can use Vengeance on it. But I would rather not have to. I'd rather be able to play Karma. Well, either way, we can do Harrowing next turn and probably win. So this, you can kind of see that this deck is a little bit... I mean, it's prepared to go into the late game if you're against another mid-range deck that's able to drag it out late. Yeah, so if he does that, then we Vengeance. What's that? What's that? Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was worried that he had, I don't know what he could have. I don't think there's anything he could have had there to save him. But now we definitely have to Harrowing. I don't think there's any chance that we do anything other than Harrowing here. It's kind of unfortunate. We could have used the Death Mark on the Harrowing. Should we Karma? No, probably not. That's Harrowing. I don't think there's anything he could play other than using a Harrowing of his own. He has to be able to block 6 units coming his way. And you can see, yeah. 3 of them are giving me lifesteal back. That should be game, right? This match has gone on very long. I don't think there should be anything he can deal with this, or he can use to deal with this. Right. Yeah, Frenzied Skill Area is not enough. Good game, well played. That was very fun. So, yes, as you can tell, this is a very enjoyable deck that has a lot of strengths and not a lot of weakness. Not a lot of weakness that can be used to beat it. He doesn't have a way to stop this, right? Hello, hello. And there's the surrender. Good game, well played. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can sneak in one more. I want to see if we can maybe play against an aggro deck. All right, well, I've been up and down the ladder trying to spend some time finding another aggro deck, but not a lot of people are playing aggro today. We do have another Noxus Shadow Isles mid-range deck, but this might actually be a little bit more aggro because he is running the Noxus, so we can just say this is going to be our aggro match for this deck showcase. Here, this is actually exactly what we want. This is the perfect setup for us. And yes, he is actually playing an aggro deck. Perfect. Yeah, so here, this should work out well. We pass on turn 2. We drop this on turn 3. We do that and that and that on turn 4. And here we go. So when you play an aggro deck, as you guys know, or as I think we've probably talked about before on this channel, all you're really trying to do is deal as much damage to the enemy Nexus as possible, and there's a few different cards that can allow you to do that. Various different cards that can flood the board, you know, put out 2 minions when your opponent can only put out 1, so on and so forth. Minions with abilities to deal direct damage. That's another really good one, obviously. But nothing can really deal with lifesteal. So as long as you get some lifesteal in your early mulligan, you will be fine. Here, he is about to rage quit because we are going to Darkwater Scourge, Mark of the Isles, and Deathmark. And there's nothing he can do about it. I mean, look at him. He's trying to flood the board as much as he can, but it doesn't have a way to stop this. Take away our Ephemeral, give it to his best card. Now we're healing a total of 10 with these 2 units. He does have a lot of damage coming out. I mean, look at this. He has a lethal right now. He has 1 over lethal right now before we block. Maybe I should kill that. I kind of want to keep him alive. Yeah, and then he immediately gets the surrender in. See, this is just the perfect counter to aggro decks. The more and more I've played this deck, the more I feel like there are probably better versions of Karma that can be used to beat control decks. So if you are playing against a lot of control decks on ladder, I would maybe recommend doing the Karma Lux control deck or a Karma Heimerdinger, Karma Ezreal. Maybe I'll make some videos on those other decks that you certainly can combo Karma with very well. But if you are ever at a point on ladder where you are seeing nothing but rush decks, go for this deck. This is so good against rush decks and mid-range decks. When you get the Darkwater Scourge, when you get the Deathmark comboed with it, when you just get any amount of lifesteal and your opponent's trying to desperately kill your Nexus and there's no possible way they can do it. Against control decks, it's kind of just who draws the Harrowing first, but against other rush decks and mid-ranges, it's so super strong. Anyway, though, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I might make some more videos on Karma decks in the not-too-distant future, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Until then, though, thanks again for watching this video. I'll see you next time, but until then, good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.